My name is Dr. Douglas Lee Ragland, and I'm running for the Birmingham Board of Education School Board seat, District 1.
Okay, awesome. What is your motivation for running for this office?
Very good question. My motivation for running for this office is I would like to see our children fully prepared and have the best opportunities for success in life. That starts with the school system. I have been blessed to be a part of the Birmingham school system, and I've been very successful in my career as an educator for over 34 years. That foundation started with Birmingham City Schools. Mm-hmm. And so I want to see our children have the opportunity to compete on a global scale. And we want to have a world-class school system in order for them to be competitive and be productive in their lives.
Okay. What goals do you hope to achieve if elected?
Certainly, I want our district school system to be world-class, and that starts with the following. Number one, we have to have a budget that's fiscally sound. I would like to see at least 5 months reserves or operational funds, which would equate to $85 million. That should be annually, at least that amount. Secondly, every child deserves the best teacher in the classroom. I taught for 11 years, and I know the impact that a classroom teacher has. So I would like to see every single teacher highly qualified and certified so that our children can get the best from a foundational standpoint with that teacher in the classroom. Thirdly, I like to see our school system at a level where all schools are equal in terms of parity. We shouldn't have certain schools perceived or better than other schools. It needs to be equal. And when we have parity in our school system, every child has an opportunity to get the best in terms of teachers, resources, and achievement. And I want to see that. I want to also see stability in leadership. Our school system needs to have leaders stable in the school system level, at the top with the superintendent, as well as principals and teachers, and et cetera. Right now, Birmingham has, in the past, had a revolving door in that area. And I want to see stability, because when we have stability, then we have success and consistency. And I want to see a school board, most importantly, that's collaborative and working together for one accord, having children first and foremost, and making decisions based on the best interest of children. Those are some of the goals I'd like to see accomplished for Birmingham City Schools, and I really feel that they can be done.
Awesome. What, in your opinion, is the reason for Birmingham City's failed schools, and what are your plans to ensure the success of Birmingham City Schools?
I think the reasons for failed schools would be the lack of coherency from the school board in terms of everybody being on one accord and everybody making sure that we make decisions on the best interest of children, or in the best interest of children. For example, when a recommendation comes forth to the school board, we need to make sure that first and foremost we can afford that recommendation. And secondly, we need to make sure that that recommendation is geared towards the children, high academic standards, being successful. In an effort to get that done, you have to have knowledge of what we have in terms of what the superintendent is proposing and in terms of what is needed. I would like to see every child having a qualified teacher. That means so much, because when you have teachers who are, quote, emergency certified or ABC certified, and I know that's not necessarily the most common terminology, but as an educator, I understand that. And what you're doing is you're putting people in place who don't have the professional certification, and at the same time, when they don't meet those requirements needed for certification, you have to terminate them. So you put our children back at square one when that happens. I like to see our budget to the point where we can really give our children the best education and work with our stakeholders to make sure our children get the best and not necessarily have to depend on the state, because when proration comes or when shortfalls come at the state level, if we're dependent on the state, we can't provide the extras necessary for our children, such as extra teachers, extra technology, extra professional development, etc. I like to see a program in place where our teachers are given the proper professional development so that they can indeed instruct our children and give the best instruction, as opposed to having to have limited professional development, and your teachers are limited and therefore your students will be limited. Those are some of the things I like to see done, and I feel as a board member we can get the ball rolling in the right direction to being world class if we put those elements in place.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Ragland. Our final question, what distinguishes you from the other candidate?
That's a very good question. I'm a retired school superintendent. I've served in 4 different school systems. I'm a product of Birmingham City Schools as a young student as well as an educator. I've served as a teacher for 11 years. I've served as an assistant principal for 1 year. I've served as an elementary school principal in Eufaula City Schools for 8 years, where I was named the National Distinguished Principal for the state of Alabama. I served as, of course, superintendent in Midfield City Schools, where I retired, and Greene County Schools, where I got my start. I was a personnel coordinator in Birmingham City Schools, and I was a hearing officer in Birmingham City Schools. Currently, I am the Alabama Commissioner for Military Education, which means that I am the point of contact and responsible for all military families transitioning into Alabama to go into any school system, Birmingham or whatever. We have 136 school systems. And so I am the person responsible for making sure that transition takes place. So in summary, I have gone on every single step in terms of education. I understand education. I've been a superintendent, and the role of a board member is to evaluate the superintendent and help the superintendent. And who better can do that than someone who's been there? So those items distinguish me from the other candidates. But let me add another one. I'm a man of God, and I am very, prevalent, and it's important to me to make sure that all my decisions are predicated on prayer. And I have to do that before I make any decision. And by being a man of God, you're going to get integrity, commitment, perseverance, honesty, understanding, and most important, love as I serve. And the key word is serve on the school board.
Okay, Dr. Ragland, we thank you. Can you take this opportunity to look in the camera and tell the citizens of District 1 why they should vote for you as school board?
Yes, that camera. Citizens of District 1, you should vote for Dr. Douglas L. Ragland for school board member for District 1 for the simple reason that I am passionate about education, and I have served for 34 years in showing that passion to our children, and I am experienced, knowledgeable, and the school board is all about the Board of Education in terms of educating students, and who best to do that than an educator. So I'm an educator, I'm a man of God, and I have a passion for serving and working with students, and I have a track record in addition to all of that as well. So that's why I should be your representative, and I guarantee you I will get results like I have in my other arenas.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Jocelyn.